We've said it plenty of times, and you know what? We're going to say it again. Jalen Jackson, an absolute dog. And it's only fitting that Jalen has taken his talents from the Mastodons to the dogs, the Bulldogs of Butler University, as we've got Jalen here. Jalen, just what was it about Butler that made you feel like this was the right fit for you to wrap up your college hoops career?
Obviously, I gotta show love to PFW just, because I wouldn't even have this situation, and have the possibilities to even play in the Big East without, my development here and the coaching staff and the people around me in the community. So, but I just felt like, with Butler, like it was the most consistent program with me throughout this whole process. They came and saw me twice in Fort Wayne. We went bowling one time and he came and watched me worked out at OPS at the time. And so I just felt like the relationships I was already building and, having to talking with the coaches almost every day, like it was just, I felt like, it had been the right place for me, like relationship wise with the coaches. And, obviously they needed a point guard and I felt like that's kind of what I'm going to be when I'm going to play professional basketball. So felt like that's the right move for me.
This isn't your first time going through the transfer portal process. How much different was it this time around compared to that offseason between your freshman and sophomore year when you chose to leave UIC and go to PFW?
Yeah, so obviously when I left UIC, I wanted just to go somewhere where I could be happy, somewhere I could play, obviously. And here I just feel like, you know, for this situation, I just feel like I just have an opportunity that was just really hard to like pass, and I've gotten a lot of support from, the community of Fort Wayne, a lot of people from PFW, and they're super happy and super excited for me. So, it makes me feel good when the people around me support my decision. And I feel like this time around, it just made sense for me to um, obviously take up on opportunities that I really couldn't pass on.
You definitely wanted to talk about your time at PFW, and you mentioned just how grateful you were for the past 2 years wearing that Fort Wayne across your chest and repping your hometown. How much have you been able, or I guess, how much have you enjoyed the last 2 years being able to grow on a professional, on a personal level, and be able to represent your city in that capacity?
Um, it means a lot. Like not a lot of people get to play in their hometown, and especially let alone make an impact. And I felt like I left the place better than I found it. I got lifelong relationships with my teammates, the people in the community, and like the coaches. I just feel like they gave me an opportunity of a lifetime, in my opinion. Like I feel like just being able to come back here and perform at a high level and be able to be more involved in the community, even though I was already involved, but I never knew how much more you could do. And I felt like the coaching staff did a really, really good job of, getting out in the community and, trying to impact others. And I felt like that developed me, my character developed what I believe in, serving others first and all that stuff. So, and then on the court, it helped me develop and just kept progressing every year. And so I just, all praise to PFW for everything they have done for me.
Well, you talked about your role and I guess what the coaching staff sees in you as far as how you're going to be able to fit in at Butler next season. How do you feel like your play style, your ability to seek out contact, to be able to thrive through contact like that, can thrive in a conference like the Big East, where it's a conference that just prides itself on the high level of physical play.
I feel like, to piggyback off kind of what you said, like, I mean, I worked on my body a lot, to be able to play, in the high level games. Obviously, as seen this year, we play Michigan, Penn State. I know I'm ready for it. I just ready to take the next step and be able to, show that on every given night and not just, every couple games when we play high majors and a mid major level.
You're going to have a chance to play in some of college basketball's best venues. Hinkle Fieldhouse will be, you're going to be playing there, one of the cathedrals of college basketball. Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament, possibly against St. John's during the regular season. What excites you the most about playing in one of college basketball's premier conferences?
The opportunity to showcase what I worked my whole life for, and that's to be able to play at the highest level and produce. I feel like, you dream of this as a kid and being able to finally have that opportunity. Obviously, the work's not done yet, but just being able to prepare myself to play in one of the best conferences in college basketball, it's super exciting.
I know Butler fans are already thrilled about you taking your talents down to Indianapolis next season, and we're certainly wishing the best for you as you wrap up this journey of yours down at Butler for next season. Jalen, can't thank you enough for the time, man.
Man, thank you for having me, man.